Okay, this recording will be available afterwards for anybody who wants it, and feel free to share if you think the content is going to help anybody. So firstly, I'm going to give you an overview of what drop shipping is, and there are many, many ways of dealing with it. Drop shipping is essentially getting a product to a customer from you, preferably without you touching it. So you're earning money by somebody else doing the work. Now, there are many ways to dropship, and there are many reasons why people do it. Some people do it in an underhand way, others do it in a very open and blatant way. And sometimes the companies who are dropshipping for you have absolutely no idea. They're probably not the ones you want to be doing. They're probably not the way you want to dropship. Personally, I believe you should dropship with the understanding of certainly the person who's shipping it. If the person who's buying it knows, happy days, because they know where to go to if they have an issue, but they don't always need to know. But you personally do absolutely 100% need to trust who is doing the fulfillment for you. Some people get their audience through third-party sales spaces such as eBay and Amazon. Probably the quickest way to get you shut down if that's the way you're going to do it, but it is your call, and some people have been doing it beautifully for years. Others have done it for 5 seconds and lost their accounts. So both of them have it in their terms that they don't want dropshippers. However, eBay will happily let you do it if they trust the source. Amazon, not quite so much. They particularly get upset when stuff doesn't arrive quickly, and they are tracking you. eBay are tracking you as well, but let's be brutal here. A lot of the eBay sellers are not quite as business minded as the Amazon ones, and they know the metrics are not going to hit them as much. Many also are using intermediate sites. So they're using spaces like Shopify. You don't need to use a Shopify account. If you want an intermediate space where you are holding different things together, something like WordPress is actually going to rank better in Google for you anyway, although you will have fun setting it up to start with. But you don't need any of those things. What you do need, however, is a site where people can see the content. So there's plenty of companies out there, and I'm using at least 2 at the moment, and I've got a third one I'm going to bring on. Now, the third one is slightly different to the other 2. 2 of them are network marketing companies, 1 of them is not. But they are set up and they are geared to fulfill for you. All of them will give you varying different things you're going to need. So before you set up any dropshipping business or any business at all, you need to know there's an audience for what you're going to sell. There's very little point in you going out to a marketplace with something people do not want to buy, because you'll put an awful lot of time, effort, energy, and possibly money into trying to build a business. Now, many people try and reinvent the wheel. Why would you do that? A quick search of Google will actually give you products people are looking for. There are lots of sites out there as well that will show you, even eBay and Amazon. How many of you are eBay or Amazon sellers? So when you see a product on there, or if you go on to buy one, it will tell you X number of these have sold in the past, whatever time frame it's giving you. So you know there is an audience for that product at the price they're selling it at. Now, the problem with some of these sites is if there's a mass amount of product out there, they're absolutely caning the pricing. So you're making no profit at all. So by the time you've paid the fees to Amazon in eBay, there's very little left for you, and you're becoming a bit of a busy fool, really. Now, I'm fortunate we have a prep centre here, so I can fulfill without question. But what I don't want to be doing is running about like a headless chicken, doing stuff when I don't have to. I would much rather I have products people want and need and want to buy, and let somebody else do the work for me. So yes, I have boxes, yes, I have bubble wrap, but I also have 2 floors and 1,500 square feet of space. Now that's bigger than most people's flats, houses, or whatever. So the downstairs is entirely taken up with product, boxes, packaging, sellotape, and whatever. And it's perfectly geared to put stuff in bags and be picked up by Royal Mail or whoever. Your house is probably not going to have that kind of space. You might have a spare room, you might have a spare corner, but in general, you probably don't have the kind of space you need to do a lot of online sales. So that's why you're going to want to look for whoever it is. Now, I know the people on the call, so I know a couple of you already have products that you would want to use and who could do it for you. But what you need to do is get it out there to your audience. Now, you can either build a list with email addresses and whatever, or you can actually use some free stuff that's out there. If you get the messaging right and you get the products right, who are my Canva users? Okay. If you're not using Canva, there's a free version. It will easily and beautifully do a nice mock-up for you of a product. What you also need to have on there is a reason why people want to buy it. So we've just had Valentine's Day, and our next biggies are Mother's Day and Easter. Now, my mum passed, 26 years ago. So Mother's Day for me is not my favourite time of the year. And bearing in mind, I'm a qualified florist and balloon artist, and I used to own a florist. Can you imagine me on Mother's Day? So I used to spend those 3 days over that period ripping my hands to shreds. To be fair, Mother's Day is more pot plants than bouquets, but even so, I was helping everybody else to celebrate their mums. Now, I realised there's a huge niche for Mother's Day this year. And one of the things that I'm going to be working on is something that's a little bit different. Now, this only arrived today, so I'm going to show you it. Now, first glance, this is a Christmas item. I don't know if you can read it, but it says Heavenly Mum. And it's really actually quite huge. I was quite surprised when it arrived. I asked around in the past week of things that things to do with Mother's Day, and I don't like doing it online. So I did it in a couple of niche groups that I have. And I asked a few questions, and I asked who else gets upset by Mother's Day or feels, that they can't really do stuff. And an awful lot of people came back and said, actually, I would really like to be able to buy something different so I can take it to wherever. So we had varying different places of where people go to do it. And it gave me a really good niche. So one of the businesses that I'm working with does personalization in a huge way. And I've gone out and tested that idea, and that one's actually going out already. So instead of taking the mainstream run at Mother's Day, I've actually gone for the niches. Now, we tend to go towards pleasure and away from pain. If it's the other way around, it costs an awful lot more money. But they're not the niches we're going for, okay? So what I've done is I've picked niches of product that I think will hit a niche and you cannot get it on the high street. I'm creating a sheet for these, and that's the real one that's just arrived because I wanted to see what it looked like. And I just create it online and I post out the alternatives into varying different spaces, including groups on Facebook, but also you have a million places on Google that you can and will be found. Now, we spotted in the week that naming pictures, they rank in Google pretty quickly, dependent on where you place them. If somebody is looking on Google for a gift or something to go on a grave or a personalized Mother's Day something, if you've got pictures on any social site, so my eBay is on there, if you name those pictures when you put a listing up, and the anything you put into any site on Google, those pictures are going to come up. Now, we got very excited in the week when we were testing stuff, and I realized within 24 hours, something that I listed on eBay ranked in Google at the top of Google, paid for by eBay, not me. Now, even if I only get that out there in one space, tagged to what else I do, with a note that says, for any more personalization ideas, please get in touch, I'm not going to have to pay eBay every time I sell one of those things. But that picture is going to stay there and constantly be found by people and take them straight back to my site from that picture. Now, by constantly creating different ideas, I am dragging an audience back that are coming to buy. Now, there's lots of different things that they're going to want. So there's at least 3 of you on the call who get what the power of this particular product, because you've been there and you've done it. Now, I did exceptionally well with this particular product on the golf courses. So the golf pros were taking it off me to actually make extra money. However, if I want to get this drop shipped by this company straight away, I can have little ads all over the internet, all over Google. Any Facebook page is public. So if you've named it, tagged it, and said with a link that goes back to your site that's going to drop ship that for you, if you do the link on something like Bitly, has everybody heard of Bitly? Has no clue what the hell Bitly is? Okay, for those who don't know what Bitly is, if you've got a link going straight through to your site, all you need to do is take it into something like Bitly, which is a link shortener. But Bitly also tracks where the traffic came from. So if I've put an advert out there for this product with all the benefits and the link on it, they're going straight back to my site and I can see where that traffic has come from. So I know to go out and do it again. Now, it's much easier if you're actually working to a particular audience. So I've said earlier, my audience for some of these products are people who are no longer with us, because it's a memory thing. Memories are really powerful. And certain times of the year, people don't want to be part of it. Or if they do, they feel a little bit out of it because there's nothing out there for them to actually go and do it nicely. Now, I won't be, I'm happy to admit some of the stuff I've done in the last few days and put together for people who've come to me and said, can you do me something like this? It's kind of caught the back of my throat as I've been writing some of the little bits that have gone on it, because I don't have a mum, and even after 20 something years it still gets to you. But if I feel like that, then there's an awful lot of people out there as well. And it isn't just mums. There are huge audiences out there for people who want to celebrate, is the wrong word, remember, and do something for them. So that's a niche that I've personally chosen to go to. Now, there are much nicer and happier niches out there. Now, I've specifically picked this size of this lovely little product because it's a travel size. Now, the last few years have been absolutely extraordinarily shocking. None of us could ever have foreseen what was going to happen. The travel market got decimated. In fact, nearly every market got decimated, let's be honest here. And the aftermath of it is putting us all in places that we really do not want to be. However, people are still traveling now, and even more so. So if I name this as a travel product, picture, and say what it is in the picture, as well as whatever it is else I post out there, I'm sending the audience for the travel market straight to my site. So on that particular site, I must have somewhere in the region of 4,000 or 5,000 products. Just by putting a link to go there, people are not going to click it. You have to hit a point of why they want to go. You have to give them a reason. Now, the travel one, huge reason. They're going on holiday, they want it, they know this product works. They also know that they can take it in their hand luggage. So if it's a weekend break, which it may well be at the moment, rather than a week or a fortnight like it used to be, they're only taking hand luggage. So they're looking specifically for stuff that will go in their travel sets. So by aiming at that audience, again, I'm niching it down. Now, that particular company also does suntan cream and varying other things that actually work with it as well. So rather than just mentioning one thing, it might say, and PS, you can top up your tan safely too. So it's also then making the value of what they're going to buy higher, because this is £4.50 on the site plus whatever postage they're going to pay. And that's not going to earn me an awful lot of money. My sweet spot when I'm helping people to sell on eBay and Amazon is £15 to £25, because I know I'm going to earn a reasonable amount out of a sale for that amount. So what I'm aiming at is raising the value of all of the orders that I'm taking. Now, for drop shipping, you need to get it all in one little space. So it needs a picture. It needs the reasons why they're going to buy. So what's in it for them? What are the benefits? And a price is a good thing as well. If you're dropping direct off the manufacturer or by somebody who's sending it for you, the price is a really good way to pull them in. Now, quite often you don't see pricing a lot out there, but this is something they can afford. And when they see something they can afford, they're going to go for it. Now, if they really, really want it, price is not an issue. But at the moment, it's really affecting an awful lot of people. So if you're showing them that this is, it's not going to affect their budgets and it is going to enhance what it is they're doing, then happy days. Now, in terms of the other stuff that I've been working on, we always buy things for other people. But what we don't want to buy these days is something they're not going to use or not going to like, or it's not going to make them smile. So that's one reason why I've also switched to having the personalization stuff going on out there. Who's bought a gift recently for someone? Nobody's buying gifts for anybody. Well, I've bought a few and I've got a few things coming up, but we are heading to the season where we're going to be doing that. So it's going to be special birthdays, it's going to be special christenings, it's going to be whatever. Now, by giving them something you're going to make them smile, it doesn't need to cost a fortune. So, for example, sure if you can see that. So I could personalize this for anyone. Now, by giving them ideas, then I can actually say, you can put your friend's name, or could be Bill's Pub or whatever. Something like that is about £4.50 plus their postage. So it's going to cost them less than a tenner. And they're going to love it and they're going to buy it. But while they're on there, they might actually go and see other stuff as well. So it's a question of getting them on the site for something that they're actually going to want for someone. So it's a gift for a man. Now, sorry, gentlemen, I know there are a couple of you on the call. You are really hard to buy for. So my husband I've been with for 33 years, I think. And every year it gets harder and harder to find him something. Now, I resort to golf. So some of the personalisation stuff we're going down is going to be the golf route, because I realise there are a hell of a lot of golfers. I trooped off to his golf club the other day and chatted to a couple of the guys. Anything with golf on, they will buy it. Anything with silly sayings on, because, oh my God, they wind each other up. I've never seen anything like it. Now, I've seen a lot of women get together and having a good, chat in a corner. But oh my gosh, you boys certainly know how to do it. But there is very little out there that is attracting them to go and buy. So a site where you can go and help them to do something. And I came up with some funny stuff last night and I was laughing away to myself. My husband was wondering what the heck I was on. But all of those things are going to go out shortly and they're going to attract the audience. So I've now got 3 niches that I'm aiming at that are all attracting traffic. These are niches that I understand. These are types of people that I know, and I know it works because they come back and they buy. So I'm going to ask a question. What kind of niches do you think would work for your audience? And we're all very different because we're different ages, we're different areas of the country. I'm going to open the chat up to see if we can get some ideas of people, of niches that are going to work for you. Pets, 100%, Sam. We always spend money on our pets, as you know, with your vet bill. Pets are family. I have no children, but in here, kids, yeah, 100%. So we've got fish tank, hamster, at least 1 canopy, and there's probably 2 downstairs. Trudy, pets, 100%. You always do the best for your kids, Jay, don't you? So anything that is, different age groups, different things. But oh my gosh, the kids' parties are expensive. The goodie bags. So when I used to run my retail premises, the goodie bags got seriously expensive. So if you can find something, so I have an item that's going onto Amazon in the next week, and they're basically something that someone could buy off the high street if they looked hard enough, but it comes with a download. It comes with a download of 100 things to do at a kid's party, which was created in Canva. So it differentiates my order from anyone else's. Anti-aging, yes. However, they need, so 40 plus, really good niches to go for, and they tend to be the people looking for the anti-aging. Although there are people much younger now as well. It horrifies me. People in their teens are using anti-aging stuff. I'm thinking, I didn't even know what, a beauty bar was until I was about 35, but yes, every single location where you are will have anti-aging spaces. So people who are going in, but even nail bars. How many nail bars have you seen that go bust? Not many. They change hands quite a few times to different people who come in and go out of the country, but they don't go bust because they might not be able to afford everything they want, but they can afford to go and get their nails done. Anti-aging, absolutely, but it's harder. Now, the pricing goes up on the anti-aging stuff. So if you've got something that's got testimonials that people are talking about and loving, then happy days. That is a much harder niche to crack than most of the others. But it is there. And if people do trust you and you are testing and trying the stuff you're doing. Jay, you've got your hand up, or is that you stretching? You can unmute, darling. It was a wave goodbye to your daughter, bless her. I only saw part of it. So let's have a look at what else we've got in here. Runners, yes, it's very niche. Crafting is definitely niche. However, the value is low. And finding a craft site that will drop ship for you, I haven't found a decent one yet. I have looked and I have spoken to quite a few, but right this minute, I haven't managed to find a craft one that will drop ship for me. Anti-aging, yes, you've already got out there. That's not a problem. Kids, there are bits and pieces on many of the different sites that we've got that will work, but kids are very fickle. There are definitely things for kids in where you're working already, Jay, and in varying other spaces, but it depends on exactly what in kids you're looking to work with. So detangling spray, absolutely the best thing in the world for, you know, stopping the tears at bedtime. But you want higher value where you can get it. So the pets one, there are a few things out there where we can get pet drop shipped. Very little at the minute in terms of the normal stuff that they need every month. Now, the nearest we get is actually sending stuff FBA to Amazon, which means we can put stuff on auto every month. So for those of you who haven't enabled that, it does then need you to be doing Amazon, but this is more aiming at what sites you can use that are going to do it for you. So who's got a Google Places going on? Anyone? Oh, Sam. That is an exceptionally powerful site. It is very underused. You need to set it up for free. You need to confirm it, and they'll probably send you a postcard, and then you will be able to use it like a website. You will be able to put pictures on there. You will be able to put anything you've created on Canva on there. Google cannot read pictures. It can only read texts. But if you put a picture on there and describe it on there, and you name the picture on there, you're already in the main space where people are searching for what you're talking about. So it used to be called Google Places. It's now Google for Business. You absolutely 100% need to be setting up one of those and regularly using it like a website and adding the stuff that you want to be found, because they will rank quicker than most things other than eBay, which when they're going to pay for the ads, happy days, but you don't want to be giving away money to eBay every 5 minutes, and you really have to post it yourself then, and you probably don't have the time, space or energy to do that. By putting pictures, video and content in the form of words of exactly how you're helping somebody, it's exactly the same formula for every single one of those. All you need is the site that will drop it for you. Now, rather than putting the full link to where it is that you're going to, you want the page and you shorten it in Bitly. Now, when you've done that, it will actually give you all of the clicks that are going through and tell you. There are other sites other than Bitly that do it. Sam, I think you use a different one. Rebrandly, I think you use. But just Google link shorteners. Now, personally, I like one where I can put the back part of what it is. So instead of some random little code that people can put in quickly, I want it to say what it is. So detangling spray, only one person can actually ever have that. So if it's on Bitly, then that's probably already gone. But something that makes a sentence, because I want to make it easy for people to buy, but also to remember it. And if they're not clicking straight through off whatever device they're using, and more they're using a phone. And that's why the Google for Business or Google Places is really, really important. Because you know, when you go on your phone and you type on it what you want, it knows where you are. So your very first customers that are going to find what you put out there are going to be the nearest ones to you. Going to be on your doorstep first. It depends on what you put, of how big your reach is. But for example, somebody in the next village to you will probably find you through Google Places. So when I had my retail shop here some years ago, we had little what they call a little monkey thing. It was like a little plastic monkey with a fruit cutty thing. I can't even remember what the hell they were called. But I put it on Google Places with a picture and a link, and somebody came to the shop because you couldn't find them anywhere, and I had them. Now, it probably took about 3 weeks for it to be found straight from that. But the lady actually came in and said, "Oh, I found you on Google. I'm looking for," and she gave me a picture. Now, we only had 2 left of this little monkey thing. I think it was a blue monkey that made a sound or something, or it said something. But just by putting it on the Google Places, it actually got found. Now, yours will rank. The more you do, the more you will be found. It's quite as simple as that. If you're using varying sites to do it, then you need the link directly through that product first. Now, if they go and buy other stuff, then happy days. If they go and, you know, buy 2 or 3 of something, great, you're earning more off it. So just make sure what you're putting out there attracts them in the first place. So think like a buyer. Now, right this minute, it's absolutely chucking it down. So people are probably wanting umbrellas and coats and Lord knows what, although it's not cold here. I don't know what it is where you are. Sam, I think you said you had sleet earlier. We don't have sleet and it's not cold, but it is wet. So Wellington boots and waterproofs and sprays to waterproof your shoes and stuff like that. But a quick mooch on Google will actually tell you, and anybody who's an eBay or Amazon seller, look at the Amazon product and see how many you've sold, or look at the sales rank on Amazon, and the lower the rank, the more are selling. And there's a lovely little link out there that will show you all of the top selling lines anyway. Now, Amazon in itself is the biggest market for dropshippers on a different level. You can sell anything on Amazon without actually holding the stock on an Amazon affiliate account. So signing up as an Amazon associate means you could do it just from Amazon. However, they are going to want a website. So you're going to need, at the very least, a basic WordPress website somewhere. So if you want to do it from that, then happy days, you can do your pet clothes, your accessories and whatever. It's going to take you 90 days to start getting an income from that. Whereas with your other sites that you're already using or you know of, you will get paid much quicker. But you don't just need to use one source to make it happen, but you do need a plan to do it. So I suggest you pick 3 niches that are going to work for you. 3 things either on your area, on your interests, or on something that you know there is a big audience for. And the more you know about those areas, the easier you're going to find it to either create ideas. So my personalization stuff, actually, I've got a teacher one here, and that's another big niche. But it's not teacher present time yet. But I used to go into my shop 2 or 3 hours early on the last days of term because I knew everybody would leave it to the last minute. If you're out there weeks in advance with the ideas showing for teacher presents, you will get those orders come through, especially if you can say you can pick 24-hour track delivery or you can pick expedited delivery because they know they're going to get it on time. Now, I know a couple of you already have sites that you could do this from, and I have a couple of others that you could do it from too. But by going out there and doing it and giving them something that's different and makes them smile, you're going to attract the audience much quicker. So these are a few of the ideas that I've had done. But you probably can't see this, but so this is the personalization for businesses. So if you're in an area where you've got lots of businesses, they want personalized stuff for themselves or for their clients. I'm not sure you can read that, but hey. This is a very large gin glass. Gin is very big. Gin is a thing. People like gin. I've already shown you in the gin glass. I better not drink gin out of that. It's going to be full of glitter. These glasses are brilliant, and I've just done an entire bridesmaid and wedding range for these. So that's a very good niche if that's one that you want to pick. Back to my people we've lost niche. People like flowers for Mother's Day, but they really don't last. Plants last much longer, and that tends to be why people go for plants anyway for their mums. But this actually did both things. It was kind of plants. I can't get the blinking thing out of the bubble wrap. This particular company wraps things exceptionally well. So I was quite shocked at how big that was. But I created just a little personalization thing, and people can actually put their own details, so a name or whatever. And personalization is a huge thing. Just Google it and see how many are out there. So it really is really big. And it took 2 days to arrive. So that was quite cool. Another niche out there, sleep. Big time. Because we can't function when we can't sleep. So think carefully about who your audience is, what you're going to use to do it, and how much time you've got to actually sending traffic out, because that is what you're going to need to do. Now, the good thing about Amazon and eBay and all the rest of it is they have the traffic, particularly Amazon. If you're doing Fulfilled by Amazon, stuff's being sent in, but you still have to do it. If you're drop shipping, you can either use the associate affiliate account and earn off that, but it is slow to get the money to come back through. But you can pick anything that's out there and you can use it as your niche. But by picking a couple of other different things, so the 2 sites that I'm working with at the minute, personalization has been huge because it's new and it's different. There's always been stuff out there, but by giving them ideas, you're actually helping them to buy. So I just came up with this for a teacher one. And you'll probably get it in a minute when I turn it over and show you that it's a candle holder. So it's just actually giving people a bit of a smile, and they're not a fortune. So, you know, it's something different. It's something nice. It's something personal. But a term I've been using a lot in the past couple of weeks is affordable luxury. Because I think we all kind of need a bit of that, don't we? Everything in sight seems to be going up. It doesn't matter what it is. And the amount of money that we seem to have left at the end of the week seems to be less and less. So just by putting a bit of time and a bit of effort into thinking about your audience, even if you only do 1 post every couple of days, you've actually got a really good space where people are going to find things. And it's evergreen marketing as well. If you have a Facebook page or a Pinterest page or an Insta or TikTok, all of those posts will actually stay on your site with the links through. TikTok not particularly loving links, to be fair. But Insta, you can have it behind the pictures or the videos. Facebook page is public. So whenever people search for the terms you're putting, the name of the picture plus the content will actually come back to it. So you don't need to spend forever building that page with shed loads of people. But you do every now and again need to go and like a post on it, because all the people connected to you will suddenly start seeing stuff. However, all of that content will rank in Google because it is public. So put a paragraph underneath, or the maximum characters it allows you to put in words underneath the picture that you've named. So that picture will rank in Google. So if it's the best Father's Day gift for a golfing father or something like that, it's going to rank. If it's going to be the best teacher present, it's going to rank. So just make sure that you embed in it what it is. Now, the sites you can use, there are lots. I'm using 2 at the minute, and I actually have an Amazon Associate account. Any of you who are in groups where they're saying, oh, we love this and this is the cheapest price ever, the link is their Amazon Associate account. They're coining it in by recommending some random stuff that they've just found. So that's exactly what they're doing. There's 3 or 4 people I know who are doing that. I used to think they were really lovely in a group they were particularly looking for stuff where Amazon sellers had either mispriced it too low, or it was on a special deal, and we all love a deal. But I didn't particularly like the ethics of this group, because basically they were using software to find all the mispricing, and they were costing Amazon sellers a fortune by emptying out their stock when they'd accidentally mispriced it. Now, sometimes Amazon will shut those listings and say, we think you've accidentally priced this wrong, but not always. And I wouldn't really want to give a link out that's going to persecute another Amazon seller, really. I don't think that's good ethics in my view. But hey, some people are doing well out of it. But you do need to put some work in. Now, if it's only 1 post a day, then great. You will build up people finding you. So just by creating a post in Google, and I do have a little video that I'm going to post out tomorrow that shows you how to craft a listing for going out to Google and how to find where to put stuff for nothing. Your best spaces are going to be where people know you, because you've got a bigger influence there. So if you've got local Facebook groups, then that's a cool thing. Now, the Ingleby Berwick one, near where my brother is, that's a brilliant group. It's one of the most responsive Facebook groups that I've ever been in. But I do know that the reach on many groups is really shocking. But if you're helping people to find a travel kit, to find a teacher present, to find a Mother's Day gift that's a bit different, actually people are going to share it for you and help you do it anyway. But if you don't want to go that route, Google is your friend. So your Google business account will absolutely rank in Google. It'll just take a little longer to get stuff to come through. Right, I've just been speaking for probably 40 minutes on the bounce, so I'm going to have a drink. And who's got any questions? Everybody's gone to sleep on me, which is fine. Anybody learned anything new about somewhere they could try something?
Got a few other ideas of niche markets.
Go on.
I've just written them down.
That's cool.
Hi. Sorry. Hi.
Okay, niche market on the can see on the back wall that somebody's definitely into yeah, very nice shield
This
thing
is
going
not my
on the wall there,
office.
Trudy.
Yeah,
Captain America.
No, this is
Avengers.
this. Yeah, no, my pictures are on the staircase. We've got a whole Superman wall. I got the big wall. The housemate got the teeny tiny wall.
Collectibles is a huge niche, to be fair.
Yeah, we could do nerds and geeks. We could do nerds and geeks. There we go. I've just thought of another niche.
But you need to find somebody who would drop ship them for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There
You
are
just
plenty
make
of
stuff up. You just make it.
There are plenty of places out there that will drop ship, but you need to trust them. And I definitely wouldn't be trusting my Amazon account to 9 times out of 10 of them. So
No.
yeah, Amazon absolutely will cane you for it. So don't find your audience there. eBay, you might get away
No.
with it, but I really would not trust your Amazon account on there. They really will shut you down, and it's not a good place to have Amazon.
Yeah,
shut
no,
down.
I won't drop ship on. No, I'll never drop ship on Amazon.
I know people who do, and I know people who have. I also know people who have got into trouble, and I've ended up having to help them out with sending stuff out from my warehouse, which is fine if I've got the stuff in stock, but it's not fine if I haven't, because, you know, I think I had something like 100 sets of hand wash needed for somebody one weekend, which I did and helped, but yeah. And always have a plan B if you can. But you really do need sites that are going to be somebody you trust to send it and for it to get there. Which is why I'm suggesting that you go Google route first. But Google Places is brilliant in terms of being found for stuff. Google's the first place anybody looks for anything anyway, apart from Amazon.
Yeah, I think I've got about 4 different Google places for all the businesses that I've got, and I've had inquiries for Avon. I've had inquiries for massage. I'm front page for Google for my consignment store because I'm the only consignment business in Berkshire that does antiques. So didn't even have to work on that one.
But the phone will ring if you want it to. But actually what you want to happen is they click through, they trust Google. If they find it on Google, they trust it. So somebody is an ex-chef, I'm not sure who somebody is, wondering about things like spices, food colouring and other things that have long life. Great niche to ship and sell, but you need to find a drop shipper to do it for you, or your house is going to smell divine. One of the very first things that I started selling on Amazon sold unbelievably well. However, it came in 15 kilo boxes and we bagged it down. When the truck arrived once a week with however many of these boxes, it was followed by half the world's pigeons because it was millet. And the bloody stuff would come out of the boxes. It would get, you don't even want to know where it got. But yeah, needless to say, you won't find anybody who's going to drop ship that for you. But if you've got the space and the time to do stuff, do some of it yourself. However, have a very good system in place for shipping it. Most people do not have the time, energy, or effort to want to do that. So you're going to need to find whichever drop shippers for the niches you pick to make it happen for you. But think about what you've bought and what you need to do and what you needed. Think like a buyer. What do they need now? The more seasonal you are, the more people think that you're the saviour of the minute because they were just thinking about having to find something for Mother's Day. And there you are. Now there's an entire psychometric thing going on about stuff like that. But yeah, and also about Google. Every time you talk about something, Google comes out with an ad. It's probably because it's in vogue at the moment. It isn't because it's listening to you or got in your brain. It just happens to be that. Has anybody tried drop shipping before?
Yes, and I did come across her on eBay.
Yes. You and a few other people, to be fair.
And you couldn't bail me out at that point. I had to do a refund because you didn't have the product either.
Yes, Ancient Wisdom have done drop shipping in the past. You do need to be careful with most of them though, because you need to know they've got it in stock. So I personally tend to have at least one of everything. Maureen, you've got your hand up, darling.
Yeah, I was just going to say what you just said. I mean, I've been doing drop shipping for years now, and you do just have to be careful. I remember waking up one morning when we'd just gone into lockdown, and I sold hair dyes in threes, and I had like 100 orders, and I was like, what on earth has gone on here? Where have all these orders come from? You know, you sell like a couple a week, and then all of a sudden you get up one morning and you've got 100 emails to say you've got 300 to send out. So yeah, we tried to drop, that's where my drop shipping started. We tried to drop ship it through Avon, and then they run out. They were like taking orders for stuff that they just didn't have. It was a nightmare. So yeah, do be very careful with it. I do still do it, but yeah, just keep an eye on it. And like you say, do it with somebody that you trust as well, which yeah, well.
You have to, so customer wants it as quickly as they can get it. Today if possible, but tomorrow would be lovely. They don't want to wait very much longer. Sometimes it's an emergency. That's why Amazon is such a big place, because most of the time they can get it tomorrow. Occasionally they can get it today. I mean, let's face it, it's much less grief to order something on Amazon than forget your wedding anniversary or whatever it is that's going to give you grief at home. So you're basically running away from any issues there. Amazon is a good place to drop ship from, but you do need to be doing it as an associate, not with product that you haven't got. And that's a very different way of doing it. You actually get a link from Amazon and you can post those things out. Just be careful with how you're doing it. If you're looking Avon, yes, I have drop shipped Avon stuff, but I've always got at least one here just in case of anything that I'm doing. The personalization stuff, you can't hold most personalized stuff because it's very personalized. But the best teacher one, I will have a few of these lurking about because I already have an audience here that will happily do them. I just need to put it on a local space, and all of a sudden people will see them, and then somebody will message you and say, I need it today, have you got one? And I'll say, I've got this, come and get it. But in terms of that, I won't be holding shed loads of stock of any of it because I don't need to. Stuff that I ordered on Thursday and Friday last week was with me Saturday and Sunday. Something that I ordered over the weekend was with me Tuesday. So I didn't need to worry. And I've tested it now. I've had 2 issues. One with what I think might have been a glass for gin, but it was there was so little left of it that yeah. And basically within 2 hours I had a replacement on its way to me, which I'll get tomorrow. Which was really weird because I must have had probably about 15 things in that box that arrived today, and the one in the middle was shattered beyond belief. None of the other stuff were, but it was incredibly well packaged. But if I can say I'm terribly sorry and know that they're going to get it the next day, then I don't have an issue. The customer's not going to be upset. Yes, if they desperately needed it that day, you might lose the order. But it's going to be all about the customer service behind who you're using to drop ship to. So just pick carefully who you're using. And there are quite a few people out there that you can use. So as I said, I've done a little video on how to use Canva to create your offer, because that's what it is. What to use, where to find pictures, how to attract with the title, because it's a bit like a book on a shelf or a newspaper headline, but also how to use Google for what it's there for. So a reminder that the pictures will rank, a reminder that people can only find what is in Google. So if you're helping them find what they're looking for, you're halfway to a sale, because you will come up. And if you haven't got Google for Business, I 100% would recommend any business that you're doing, you go and do that. because the little map that comes up and it shows you where people are, I mean, that's a whole day playing in itself of getting that to work beautifully, because it works on recommendation and it works on content as well as where you are. So if there's 3 or 4 of you in an area, therefore this I doubt there would be, then it would be whoever's got the most testimonials from customers. And that in itself will then help you sell even more, because customers are trusting you. Anybody got any questions before I leave you lovely peoples to your evening?
When will the recording be available? Because our upline has asked if she could join the call, but she was a bit late, and then wondered if she could possibly have a recording. To have a
I
look
will
at.
try and download it in a minute. I'm just gonna